So today in the Cowbridge kitchen we are going to recreate a classic dish. Who doesn't like beans on toast? We're going to make our version of beans on toast today, and we're going to call it a 3-bean pizzaiola. So, for this 3-bean pizzaiola we are going to need 3 different types of beans, and you can use any beans you like. I'm going to use a tin of I bought some 3 salad beans here. Okay, so I'm going to use this tin. This tin of beans has got cannellini beans, flageolet beans, and zucchini beans. So we're going to use those. So first thing we need to do is get these drained off into a saucepan. So get them into a saucepan. Make sure you get all of the ones that were stuck in the bottom. Okay, so that's fully empty. And we pop this saucepan under some cold water to drain. There we are, so pop that under that tap, and we're going to leave them drain now, just so they rinse through for a few minutes. Okay, so while the beans are draining in the water over there, we're going to need some other ingredients to complete this dish. Okay, you're going to want some garlic. Okay, so one fresh garlic clove you're going to need. You're going to want some tarragon. Okay, you can use fresh if you like. I'm going to use some dried tarragon. I've got some passata here, some Italian passata. You're going to want about 2 serving spoons of this stuff, okay? And this has already got basil in it as well, so we don't need to add any basil. So we'll show you what to do with that in a sec. And you're going to need some celery. So 2 sticks of celery. So that's the first thing that we're going to use. So what we'll do is we'll get this celery chopped up, and then we'll get this into the beans on the stove. So there we are. I'm going to take out 2 sticks of celery. And we're just going to sort of cut this into pieces, okay? Just into little pieces like so. There we are, I'm going to leave that other one aside. What we're going to do, get a garlic clove as well. Just quickly peel that. Except you don't have to be too 100% accurate with it, just get the skin off it. Like so. That's there. And with your knife then on top of the garlic clove, squashing down like that so that he's all broken up. There we are. Okay, so back over to the stove, and we'll go and get our beans out of the sink. So with our beans out of the sink now, okay, that's about covered about 2.5 centimeters of water in there. Okay, so it's just enough to cover it. And what we're going to add to that now, we're going to get our celery that we cut up earlier. We're going to throw that into that pan. We're going to get our garlic that we squashed up earlier. We're going to get that into the pan as well. Give this a little bit of a mix. So that's all mixed in there. And then some tarragon. Okay, not too much, just a good sprinkling of tarragon in there. 2 or 3 shakes of that. Mix that in as well. And what we're going to do, pop the heat on there. Turn it down a little bit, get that covered, and that is going to bring to the boil and simmer for about 20 minutes. So while our beans, celery and our garlic are simmering away now, I'm going to prep up this sauce to go with them, okay? And it's dead simple sauce. We're going to chop up our celery stick into small slices. We're going to use some passata, and I am going to add to this, I'm going to add a few spoons of chopped tomatoes, okay? So let's chop this celery stick up, and then I'll show you how we're going to get this all together. Into nice fine slices. We don't want huge chunks of this. There we go. So there's our celery all chomped up. Go and grab our tin of chopped tomatoes. So there we are. We've got our tin of chopped tomatoes. Now we've got our celery chopped up here and our passata. What we'll do, we'll get back over to the stove now, and we'll get this into a pan and get the sauce on the go. There we are, let's pop our board in. Okay, so we've got all our bits and pieces. As we can see, we've still got our beans simmering away here quite nicely. So they've probably got about another 10 minutes or so, and they'll be nice and soft. Yeah, so leave them there. Okay, what we're going to do, we're going to put about 25 grams of butter into this pan and get that onto the heat. Let's get that melted down. There we are, just put a bit more in for good measure, that's about 25. Okay, once this is melted now, we'll start adding our celery and our ingredients to this. So here we are then, with our butter virtually melted now. What we're going to do, we shall add our celery into this butter mix, okay? There we go. Get that in there, get that cooking. And the idea is we want to get this celery nice and soft. So with a spoon, we just mix that into the butter. There we are, and let that cook there. Okay, so on top of that, we're going to do about 2 serving spoons now of passata. Remember, this passata has got basil already in it. Okay, so 2 huge big spoons. There we go. Don't be shy, and if you want to put a little tiny bit extra, don't worry too much about it, it'll be fine. So we'll get that mixed in into that butter and the celery. And we're just going to let this start cooking now. And while that's going, we'll open out in the chopped tomatoes. Okay, and we can always use, if it'll fit, yeah, the same serving spoon just about. We'll tip some tomatoes onto there now, so we've got some nice tomatoes and juice into that mix. There we are. What we're going to do now is leave this on a medium heat now, just get it boiling away, and let that cook now for about 10 minutes on a nice low heat while those beans finish off. So our beans have been cooking here now for about 20 minutes or so. Our beans, tarragon, celery and our garlic, and it's already that's producing a lovely smell. And these beans are pretty much done now. And then right next to it we've got our tomato sauce with our second stick of celery and a few spoons of chopped tomatoes. It's nice and thick now. Okay, that's been simmering there probably for about the same sort of 10 minutes or so. Okay, so what we're going to do is get these beans now into the sink, and we're going to drain off and get the garlic out of them. Okay. Okay, so what we want to do now is get ourselves a sieve, and we need to tip all of that juice, beans, celery, garlic, all into the sieve, and get that shaked up. Put that back on the pan now, okay? And then this can be left there to drain. And what you're going to need to do is to get that garlic out of here, okay? Because the last thing you really want is a great big mouthful of garlic. So you pick the garlic out. Doesn't matter if you take a few beans as well. There's plenty in there to go around. Okay, there we are. I think that's pretty much all of our garlic out. We'll leave that set aside. There we are. And we'll let them drain there for a few minutes. So our beans are all drained out in the sink. What we're going to do is to pop them into our tomato sauce. And there we are, just tip the whole lot in, celery and all. There we are. And get that all mixed into our sauce. And then we can leave that to cook, I don't know, about 10 minutes maybe, just so all the juice of the sauce gets into the beans. And I'm going to tell you now, these beans are going to make one incredible alternative to a tin of beans on toast. And also you can use this this Pizzaiola as an accompaniment for many different meals. There's a few meals on here on my channel that it's going to really benefit from having this on the side. So, you know, experiment a little bit, check out some of the other recipes and see what you can add this to. But then again, this is going to go equally as well on some toast and make a fantastic alternative to your standard beans on toast. There we are then, guys, and our beans Pizzaiola all done on a nice bit of bread, toasted bread there, beans on toast, Pizzaiola style. Enjoy.